I'm going to give you a clue as to what investigation we're going to do tomorrow night, and we're going to live stream this as well. So I'm just going to turn this way, maybe a little bit. There we go. We are in Metropolis. This is the home of Superman. So I'm going to turn my camera around so you can see what's behind my shoulder. Let's have a look. There we go. There is the Man of Steel himself. We're in Metropolis, which is in southern Illinois. We're almost on the border of Kentucky, so we're deep into the south here. We're in this town because we drove through recently and it seems to have such a strong history, and of course wherever humans go and mankind goes, paranormal activity will follow. But we stumbled across, quite by accident, the fact that this town, Metropolis, has a link of course with Superman, the famous DC character from back in the day. There's been many films and TV series, and it just seemed like a really good place to investigate. Hi Steve, so bear with me, you're going live out on Facebook right now. Look at that.
Hi America.
He's never looked better, is he? Gloria, you're going to have to get back up there.
Sorry.
There we go. Look at that. Dawn, would you like to wave, sir?
Hi.
Look at this for Americana. Look, this is where I am. This is Americana, but this is the Superman Museum. This is a huge, huge event.
We're at the Super Museum in Metropolis, Illinois, home of Superman, and today is actually a special day because it's the 20th anniversary of the unveiling of the Superman statue that's outside. I'd always been wanting to do some sort of paranormal investigation in the museum because we're surrounded with so many items. There's over 70,000 items in our museum, and I've had experiences here in the building, so I just thought it would be fun to do this. My dad's always been excited by the paranormal. Our security cameras pick up a lot of orbs, so my dad would sit up and, hey, they're going crazy right now. And we're like, I don't know, Dad, maybe they're dust. But he would sit up and swear by it. He would see orbs. So I've seen the orbs on the cameras too, and I've had a lot of experiences in this building. We've been here for 28 years, and I've heard a lot of things, and I always just kind of brush it off, so I thought it'd be fun to do. Well, there's a lot of mysteries involved with the death of George Reeves, so that's what we were really hoping for, would maybe George or somebody from the show would come through and be able to explain what might have happened to George, because it was ruled a suicide. But there were a lot of people at the party that saw him arguing with his girlfriend. He had a couple enemies. Maybe he was murdered. So I'd just kind of like to get the answers to that.
And of course, George Reeves, who played Superman in the 1950s in the TV shows back in the day, if you may remember those B-movie kind of shows they did, he died in very mysterious circumstances in Los Angeles. He was found dead in his apartment. He was shot in the head. But there's been many discrepancies on that. They never found powder residue on his hands, for example. They dug another 2 bullets out of the floor and the wall, but they only heard 1 gunshot. So they don't know whether he committed suicide, whether a hitman killed him. And tonight, we've got the opportunity to go to the museum where they have all of his artifacts. They have belongings that he actually owned, and we can run the equipment and actually ask George Reeves who actually killed him or whether he committed suicide. There's a nice little triangle where you run the equipment and get the names and the dates come through, and separately, perhaps beforehand, the psychic has written down the same dates, the same names, so that's corroborating each other. And then you do the historical society and actually find that information to be true. So it's a nice little pyramid, and people that wish to debunk will find that hard to do under those circumstances. We have members of the team that are very skeptical, and I think that's very healthy.
Before I got involved in the paranormal, I was a total skeptic. I was an atheist. I would have argued with you if you had said ghosts exist. I would have said there's no way that could happen. Once you're dead, you're in the ground and done. In the year 2000, I bought a house that was very active with turns out a little girl. I would hear her talking when I was there, and that's what got me questioning what my belief.
So we're going to be doing an investigation tonight, and we want to see if you guys have any questions. We're going to be trying to reach out to George Reeves, Christopher Reeve, anybody that has passed on from the Superman universe. If anyone has any questions, please message us and or comment below, and we're going to try to ask questions tonight. We're going to be doing this into the wee hours of the morning.
We're doing a walkthrough, which means we're trying to establish if there's anything that's going to give us false evidence. So we're looking to see if there's wiring that's being grounded, which would give us a false EMF reading. We're looking to see if there's any broken windows, air conditioning, things that would provide a cold breeze. Just stuff that when we come back later in the dark, we're trying to get rid of everything that's making strange noises, giving us strange readings, so they're not paranormal. That's like a baseline test. What we're trying to do at the moment is we've got such a crowded space that we're trying to work out where we can set up the best, where we can put the equipment, so we're going to make the best use of our time. So we're looking around at the moment to see which would be good areas to do a vigil in, where we have enough room for the equipment, enough room for the investigators, and enough room for the spirits to come through and access us. So we're just walking through, looking for the best places to investigate later tonight. Also, if we're in the dark later, we want to see where everything is, so we're not falling down strange holes, tripping over stairs, and you get a better idea of what's here in the daytime and in the light for when we come back later.
I think it's going through testing right now. Okay.
If we're ever going to get anything come through on him, this would be the place, wouldn't it? Do you not think? Where else would, apart from actually going to the house it happened in LA,
Right.
where you know this is your best shot here, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I mean, the rumors are that he identified more with Superman than George Reeves at the end, and so he might want to be around the things that are very familiar to him, or the things that he identified with. So,
If it was suicide and he shot himself in the head, would you then want to hang around that apartment building?
no.
So we shall see. We'll ask him.
I've got night vision security cameras, so we're gonna have to watch for that tonight if we're using any IR stuff.
I guess it gives us a plan B if something flies across the room as well, though. I wonder if Terry Hatcher will be here at the end of the month.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. She's talked nothing about Henry Cavill.
No, she hasn't mentioned him at all.
Barely mentioned it.
Zero.
Nothing. We'll have a little table in the middle. I need full equipment, SLS, Fleur. We want the whole place. We won't get another chance like this.
Okay.
This is wild, right?
Yes.
So
Very exciting.
that's the plan. Are we in a position to start, Karen?
Yes, go right ahead.
Okay, this is the first vigil.
Oh,
Cool. First vigil at the Superman Museum. So if you can come up and touch, you can come up and grab this thing right here, or this thing on the floor, then they'll just light up. There's right behind me here. There's a fishing bobber, this ball, and there's one sitting on the edge of that display case, and there's one sitting on the edge of the table. What's that?
no, go ahead.
And you can knock those off. We'd appreciate it if you could knock those off for us. That'll let us know you're here. They'll make a lot of noise, and so we know that you're here and that you can interact with some of these things that are laying around. These devices that you see with the little red lights, like this one sitting here, the one sitting next to Adrian, one that Heather's holding in her hand, those are recording devices. As George, they're basically tape recorders now, but they're solid state, so they'll record your voice. So if you talk directly into those red lights in a loud, clear voice, we'll be able to play them back and hear the answers to your questions.
I think there's an innate human response to wanting to find out things that we don't know about. So we're gravitated towards that because everyone knows death. We've seen people die. We know people that have died. It's an experience we're going to go through ourselves. And I think people want to be aware that there's something after this. This isn't the be-all and end-all of that. Well, hello.
Karen, is your phone on?
No, I turned it off completely, not even air mode, airplane mode. I went off completely.
Whatever it is, I mean, it's setting them off simultaneously, so it has to be stretched out or very large area of energy to make them both go off, or moving very, very fast
I
between the two.
feel like something in my arms and shoulders right now.
It's George. Are you here?
I thought there was a yes right off the bat.
Did you enjoy playing the role of Superman? Yes, right, sure.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So were you in LA when you died? Sure. So it makes no sense to me to hold up religion to say paranormal activity shouldn't happen. You almost want to hold up religion and say, look, it actually proves that paranormal activity actually exists. The pastor in the local church might say he doesn't like my paranormal investigations, but I'm the guy that's proving there's an afterlife that he's preaching about every Sunday, which seems a strange dichotomy, really. George, there'll be no recriminations. It was a very, very long time ago, 60 odd, 70 years. Could you tell me, yes or no, did you kill yourself? No. Could you tell me the name of the person who killed you?
That said Mannix.
That did say Mannix.
But they just kind of want closure because that's their childhood hero. It's like, well, you would compare it to like Robin Williams dying now and how we feel about that. That when George Reeves died, all these kids were connected to this character. That was their Superman. They came home from school to watch Superman. They waited up to watch Superman. They were eating Kellogg's cereal because Superman ate Kellogg's cereal. They were jumping off roofs and doing all kinds of crazy stunts in the 50s because of George Reeves. So it really connects to people. This bond over Superman, it seems silly to people, but this bond is so strong. They instantly become family because Superman ties to a part of their childhood, and it brings out a part of, you know, who you were as a kid. And people just light up and become kids when they come in this museum, and that's what I love about it.
Was either Eddie or Tony involved?
Grandpa.
Yeah.
This REM pod went
Yeah.
off. Was that the other one too that went off?
No, just this one. I didn't hear. Gloria, that one in the other room didn't go off, did it?
Correct.
Okay.
We're quiet over here.
I think based on the evidence we've got so far, we can safely assume he never killed himself, and it was either Eddie or Tony.
What's the first name of the person that killed you, George? Eddie read away in a male voice.
Did he do it himself, or did he
No.
get someone else to do it?
George, did Eddie Mannix pay someone to kill you? There was a yes in there.
Imagine, for example, you could be on the grassy knoll, or you could be in the, the book depository in Texas, and talking to people involved in the assassination of JFK. Wouldn't it be fabulous if we could interview those individuals as a historian but also almost like a chat show host. You know, you have this dialogue with them via the equipment, via the psychics, and you can ask dead people all the things you've always wanted to ask.
I don't present my evidence to anyone to try to convince them of anything. It's not my job it's not my job to change your belief system. I gather the evidence, I present it as it comes in, and there are people out there that won't ever believe anything I could, play 1,000 clips and show them pictures and stuff, and they're just not going to believe more because it challenges their own personal belief system, as opposed to the fact that ghosts might actually exist.